Sofyan Amrabat injury boost. That is it coming in from the United correspondent for the Telegraph, and that is Telegraph Dhaka. That is it James Dhaka? And here we come to bring you the latest news and information as far as this story is really concerned. By the way, earlier today, this morning, I handed on to a question coming in from Neto Musa. Any injury updates and possible incomings from injuries, please. And you are graced that this morning I've gone ahead to obviously get your story coming in from Sofyan Amrabat, Lisandro Martinez, and obviously we will do something concerning James Garner on why he left Man United, and Anton Martial just came early today, yet the training was not happening in the morning today. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're already watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily, and smash the notification bell. That will get you notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful YouTube channel of ours. So where do we start from? Today, Anton Martial came early, and the breaking story was this morning that Anton Martial has left 5 minutes after his arrival this morning. And then Samuel Lucas gave us a reason as to why Anton Martial went ahead to leave Carrington early enough. He told us that Anton Martial left Carrington 5 minutes after arriving because he arrived at a wrong time. He arrived at 8:56 a.m. and left at 9 a.m. after he was informed training was later in the day. That is it coming in from Samuel Lucas, and this is how Anton Martial had to drive back home because he had arrived some time earlier than the scheduled time of training. But this shows us that the coming in of Rasmus Hojlund obviously has gone ahead to obviously impact more pressure onto him. He now needs to obviously get himself out of his box, because his usual complaint has always been that they've not gone ahead to give him chance, you know. And Erik ten Hag gave him chance for the whole of last season, and he was unfit for the most of the season, and he never played 60% of the games. So Rasmus Hojlund coming in through obviously gives us a different vibe altogether at the club of Man United, and sets us into a mode that will never see Anton Martial settle. You know, he has to be unsettled, and this unsettlement has to obviously be shown in his works on and off the pitch. And he just came in through to obviously train, but he was told he was too early for the training sessions today. So to me, that was really a very huge positive for Anton Martial, and it's like a reminder to Jadon Sancho that everything he's doing is really bad, and he should obviously come early to train. But that is the Rasmus Hojlund fever that Anton Martial is obviously feeling, and I would love to see such healthy competition at the club of Manchester United, that these players even yearn to obviously come to Carrington early enough than planned, to see to it that they really go ahead and obviously take the team to the next level. The hunger from a player like Anton Martial will obviously come in through in a moment when he knows that there is a new lad in town known as Rasmus Hojlund. And Rasmus Hojlund has gone ahead to register one of the fastest speeds in the Premier League, having played only 30 minutes in the game of Arsenal. And later today, I'm going to bring you the match preview of United versus Brighton, and we're going to talk about Rasmus Hojlund, whether he makes his first home debut or not. So that is it coming in from Anton Martial and him leaving the club or Carrington early today as we prepare for the game. Remember, the Premier League is back over the weekend as we host Brighton at Old Trafford. Now, Sofyan Amrabat, one of the most worrying injuries that you'll ever see at the club of Manchester United. Now, the correspondent for Manchester United, that is James Dhaka for the Telegraph, has confirmed to us that Ten Hag hopes to have new signing Sofyan Amrabat available to face Brighton at Old Trafford on Saturday, despite the midfielder sitting out Morocco's recent internationals as an injury precaution. That is it. Now, this is the best news that you'll ever want to get during a weekend like this? What other would you want to get? What other news would you want to get? You know, we are all eager to see how Sofyan Amrabat teams up with Casemiro in that double pivot. In this scenario, when the right wing position is really having deficiency in it, after Anthony asking for leave to leave Man United until he sorts his problems out, then Sancho also falling out with Jordan's, falling out with Eric Ten Hag, you are left with Facundo Pellistri. That is it. So, with all that, there is one thing that comes to your mind, that who can obviously be played onto the right wing. Obviously, that is Bruno Fernandes in a game like that of Brighton, and game of Brighton and the game of Bayern Munich. So, because Mason Mount would be one of those, but I don't see him really coming in through in the picture because he's an injury player. He's injured, and you don't expect him to come in through with a fire. So, to have a perfect midfield, you have to see Sofyan Amrabat, Casemiro playing the double pivot, Eriksen playing ahead of them, and Bruno Fernandes being pushed onto the right wing for starters to see to it that things go on as planned. And in the game of Brighton, I would go that way, by the way. I would go that way because I really know exactly what it means when it's into that mold of situations. So, I really call in for a lot. I really call in for lots of things in that midfield because I know that we are intact in the midfield. We're having Eriksen one of the best passers of the balls, and we'll obviously release Rasmus Hojlund, Anton Martial, Marcus Rashford, and Bruno Fernandes in any way. So if at all we are standing like that, I will fancy that to happen, and that's the beauty and the positivity coming in from Sofyan Amrabat injury update. And this is going to be confirmed by Eric Ten Hag on tomorrow as he holds his press conference at Carrington ahead of the game of United versus Brighton. But this is a very huge boost, and we just can't wait to see whether Sofyan Amrabat is obviously going to be part of the squad. But if he happens to be, I'm going to be very, very excited because this guy is really one of the best midfielders I've seen play, and he brings something that's been lacking in the midfield of Man United. And I would like to send a warning to all the people that think that we've gone ahead to start off the season, we are off the Premier League, Champions League, and so on and so forth. If all those players come back, when Varane is back, Mount back, Kobe Menu back, Malacia back, Luke Shaw back, who else is injured? Who else is injured? Because you're having Shaw, Malacia, Varane, Mason Mount, Kobe Menu, Tom Heaton, and now Sofyan Amrabat. Now, if we get all those players back, there is even Amad Diallo. If we get all those players back, we will compete at the same levels with these teams. We will go on a winning run that we've never gone on before. And I promise we can stretch 10 games winning. You know, just that single signing of Sofyan Amrabat. As I told you before you arrived, that I'm not 100% sure of us competing for the title of the Premier League and the Champions League this season because we don't have a Casemiro backup and another physical player in that midfield. I told you the previous Sunday on third when we lost to Arsenal that if I had Sofyan Amrabat in that lineup, even if I don't yet started and started off the bench and came in through, would have gone ahead to win that game because time reached when Eriksen was burnt out and couldn't obviously do the job that he had done very well for some minutes, and we had no substitute in the midfield we could make. It was only Gore and Hannibal on the bench. So just imagine if at all Sofyan Amrabat was available. It would have been a different game of football together, and the situation would have gone ahead to change for the better of the club of Manchester United. So I really think that it's obviously going to go our way, and we are obviously going to wait and see how this really goes. But I would love to let you know that things will normalize. Slowly by slowly, things will stabilize. But Sofyan Amrabat, injury boost, is really one of those that is really great, and we just can't wait to see him make his debut for Man United in the game of Brighton. Then, for Lisandro Martinez, it's a story coming in from Telegraph Dhaka, confirming to us that Martinez has done some training with Argentina, but was substituted against Arsenal with an issue to his right foot. Right? The same one in which he suffered a broken metatarsal that ruled him out for the final 7 weeks of the season. And they also went ahead and added, where is that story about Lisandro Martinez, that there are thoughts to be doubts over Lisandro Martinez's availability against Brighton. So Lisandro Martinez is really doubtful to face Brighton. But for me, if you are told that playing Lisandro Martinez for the game of Brighton and he misses the game of Bayern Munich, and not playing him the game of Brighton such that is available for the game of Bayern Munich, what do? I obviously choose the other option of Lisandro Martinez playing away at Munich, because Evans, Maguire, Lindelof can get the job done against that team. And if at all Sofyan Amrabat is available, you can easily switch Casemiro to play into the central defense and Sofyan Amrabat to play into the midfield. That is it. So I would rather reserve Lisandro Martinez for the game of Brighton and not play him, and then prepare him for the game of Bayern Munich away, because to me that is one of the most important games that we are going to see United play, because it's Erik ten Hag's first game in the Premier League, and he needs to obviously prove to us that he is really a Champions League material. And I've always told you why I really have a lot of hope in Erik ten Hag when it comes to the Champions League. He managed to reach the semi-finals of the Champions League. We never had the quality that he has at Manchester United. At Ajax, he never had that quality. So that's why I've always come out and pleaded that I would love to see the best come out of him. So Lisandro Martinez for the game of Brighton, I see no reason for obviously hurrying him back. I don't see any reason for hurrying him back. Let's let him rest, because this will be, I think it will be a second week without him kicking a ball. And maybe if he makes it to the bench of Brighton, he should just come in through when need be. But if at all there is no need, it's better to obviously leave him there and prepare him for the game of Bayern Munich. And seeing him on plane on Monday, flying to Munich, will be my hope. That is it. Will be my hope and joy. That is it about Lisandro Martinez. Now, today we've gotten a very huge story coming in from James Garner. James Garner was one of those players that obviously found themselves leave the club of Manchester United, and we all criticized the board on why they let this young talent really leave the club. But finally, James Garner has gone ahead and really revealed to us as to why he left the club of Manchester United. And this is the reason as to why he left. He has told us that Ten Hag is a very approachable man, but very strict. He doesn't allow anyone to break the rules. He tells it like it is and punishes people who have done wrong. My decision with it was easy for him. He concludes by saying, I simply asked him if I was going to be part of the group or if he saw me playing a role. I felt that the conversation had not gone as well as I wanted, and I made the decision to leave. So it's James Garner who made the decision to leave, and also United decided to sell him to Everton. So let's stop slating the board of United, because we slated them for that James Garner really was sold forcibly. No, he was one who called for this, and it was given to him because Ten Hag told him, you are not part of my plan. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Sofyan Amrabat injury boost. Ten Hag expects him to be available for the game of Brighton. Then Anton Martial coming early to training, yet the training was obviously supposed to take place earlier. later than expected. James Garner and what is going to reveal about his transfer. And lastly, Lisandro Martinez coming in through and telling us, Telegraph Dakar telling us why we shouldn't expect a lot from Lisandro Martinez in the game of Brighton. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. Rock and David remains my name. I'm out.